It's drilled to left field. Is it high enough? See ya! A walk-off grand slam, and the Yankees win.
And he drives one to right field over toward the line. Long run for Laureano, and he runs it, and the Mets win the ball game.
All right, episode 68 of The Boroughs. I'm Kevin Bunk, as always, joined by Michael Merlo for BTO Media, talking Yankees, talking Mets. Unfortunately, today we do have to cover both teams and all around the league at the end of it. Mike, worst Yankees weekend of the year. Not even close. And I am on here today with a really negative mindset and an overarching feeling of this season felt like it ended this weekend.
Well, I think the Yankees had a worse weekend than Major League Baseball did in Bristol, Tennessee. I think that's how bad it was for the Yankees. And that was a bleep show over there in Bristol. But yeah, that Friday night game, and we're going to get into everything. What I have really never seen a game like that, a loss like that, in a very long time. That was brutal. They make way too many mistakes. We know this, and we're going to get into all this, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm going to go right in for the kill early today. That had to have been Boone's last weekend. I know it's not going to be, so I'm not going to do this act about he's going to get fired and he should get fired. Will he get fired today? I'm not going to do this whole thing. But this has ran its course so badly, and there's so many issues wrong with this team. But you see on Friday night, the bullpen implosion. I won't even blame him for that. But then on Saturday, you have the Chisholm running situation and his defensive jazz after the game. That's just an incident that cannot happen. How hard is it to just say it can't happen? He knows better now. How difficult is that? And then Jazz after the game doesn't even care that he got thrown out. He's just excited to tell the media how he almost outsmarted the second baseman because he knows how the ball bounces on the Miami turf. Like, give me a break, man. It is so bad. And you can't tell me that the root of their problems doesn't come, and I mean their on-field problems, the boneheaded mistakes, doesn't come from the coaching. Because I'm watching Gleyber Torres and following Gleyber Torres, who went to A.J. Hinch and had a lot of problems the first week of the season, was out for a few weeks with an injury, and he hasn't made an error since. He's been one of the best second basemen in all of baseball this year. And Hinch is a great manager. We know that. I'm not seeing Boone elevate the Yankees at all anymore. And then Ben Rice is calling out the level of urgency the team has after the game. There's so many things that are bad reflections of Boone from this weekend and all year long.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And I had thought about Torres when I was thinking about Aaron Boone last night. You know, you look at Torres and he hasn't had really many issues. And he started at second base in the All-Star game, and he's had a very good season. And you look at other managers around the league and they are able to elevate their players. Boone doesn't. The one thing I'll say is, and while I don't disagree with you that it's a reflection of Aaron Boone, all the constant mistakes, like Aaron Boone is not teaching these guys to be stupid baseball players. They're not. He's not teaching them to make these mistakes. Is he correcting them? No, and I guess you could really get on him for that, but Jazz Chisholm making an out at second base, at first base the other day. Like, how are we going to sit here and blame Boone for that? Constantly blame Boone. How are we going to blame Boone for the ball going under Jose Caballero's glove on Friday night? I mean, at the end of the day, these guys need to step up and stop being stupid and make some plays.
Well, you know what? With the Caballero thing, too, I'm new with these guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how frequently Caballero plays right field. I really have no idea.
He was playing out there.
Okay, and because Tampa's got the crowded infield, so I know they've been using him in the outfield. I don't know what his capability is. Yeah. Before that inning, I thought Austin Slater should have went to right field because, in my mind, Caballero's a natural infielder. But again, I'm not even going to rip him because I'm admitting openly I do not know the comfortability of the players at these positions. Neither here nor there. But you're right. When the incidents happen, like Jazz doing that, it's not, he didn't do that because of Boone, but they do it again and again because of a lack of accountability, a lack of urgency, a lack of focus that this team obviously has. I mean, Austin Wells, this is the second time now that a player has gotten caught thinking there were 3 outs in a game and there were 2 in a critical situation over the weekend. This stuff doesn't happen.
So then fire the base running coach. Whoever the base running coach is, fire that person.
I don't know how true this is, but I learned that Travis Chapman, the first base coach, is responsible for infield defense and base running. What is he doing here if that's true? What is he doing? Because Boone laid into him in the dugout after the Chisholm thing. Why is he employed if that's his responsibility?
He's pretty bad if those are his two responsibilities. Those are the two worst units in the sport right there. Infield defense Yankees, base running Yankees. Yeah, that could be – that's insane.
And also, your boy Louis Rojas is like a roulette wheel at third base. Like, are we going to send him or not? We have no idea. We don't know when to send guys or not.
That send on Saturday was unbelievably bad.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Stanton hit the ball 125 miles per hour into left field. I mean, there was no chance. I mean, Kyle Stowers could have thrown the ball up the line. He still would have gotten Grisham at home.
See, so Gabe right here, Aaron Boone has had a more talented team than he's had for years. Team somehow gets worse. Patty cake Boone stuff is over with, but Clint Frazier will say he's doing a good job. I totally agree with Gabe. The biggest gripe I have with this team is for the first time in Boone's tenure, I'm actually sitting here saying this team is better than they're playing because I've been on Cashman for this whole Judge era. He's been my main dartboard. But this baseball team, on paper, the way it's been built, especially after this deadline now, is better than their record. They should not be in third place in the American League East. They should not be worried about getting a playoff spot in the American League. And that's not bias. That is purely objective. And you look at what Cora is doing with the Red Sox, that roster's not as good. That roster's not experienced. You look at what has been done in Seattle. You look at what's been done in Texas. These are teams that are not better than the Yankees on paper, but they play better baseball. And even Tim and Cash in Tampa this year. Toronto's the greatest example with Schneider this year.
But they're not a very talented team.
They're not. And coming into the year, I put them at third place, and we thought that was generous.
Yeah.
Coming into so, I mean, for them to be the best team in the American League has been incredible. And it's just, this is like a sickness that the Yankees have. They are playing down and up to their competition for years now, and they're playing much worse than they should be this year. And I'm very frustrated this year. I
still think Cashman deserves a little blame, though, because
absolutely,
you know, again, like you're putting these players on the field. Like, it is not the most well-constructed, well-balanced roster in the league. We've known this, and they did make some moves and offload some people this deadline, bring in some bench bats. That makes sense, but it was never the most well-constructed lineup in the league. And I mean, he did put these guys together, you know, a collection of guys that can't play defense and can't run the base as well. He did put those guys together.
He did. And I will say with Cashman, you know, we can't just ignore the first 2/3 of the season before the deadline. Like, they didn't have a third baseman. They didn't have, it's a $300 million team with so many holes, and their bullpen was not well put together at all. We've ripped them all season long, really, for their roster construction, but now it's on Boone. And Cashman kind of said that. I don't know if it was in his FAN interview or a different media availability after the press conference, after the deadline, but he said, we have the pieces to win now. So I don't know if there is an actual pressure being put on Aaron Boone at this point, because Cashman's in his mind, and you imagine Cashman calls the shots with the Yankees. He's been the president for 28 years now. He's saying, I put the team there. The front office put the team here. Now let's see what the managers do with it. And I think this is Boone's biggest test to this point. But I'll also say, and this is not me being like blind faith or just like taking the cheese or being a fan. If they did find a way to put this together somehow by September, this team's really good, and they could make a run in the American League. But
anybody can make a run in the American League. Yeah, they could.
There you go again with your American League throwing a little jab at the American League.
They could.
This is a great league. This is a great league.
It's not a great league. It is not a great league. Go look at the National League. I can name
the AL is one of the
teams.
Great leagues. The AL is one of the great leagues.
5 teams in the National League before I name an American League team.
No, the AL is one of the great leagues.
No, it's not. It's unfortunately not for you. I could possibly name 6 teams in the National League before I named an American League team that was better.
All right, well,
Mets, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers, Dodgers, Padres.
You can. I'm looking at them right now.
Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros.
Can we, for 1 second, while we're talking about the American League, why'd the Astros trade for Correa?
Yeah, I
Like,
guess
is that just like a
think-
nostalgia move?
I think they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Paredes is out the whole year.
Yeah, so next year he's
Tore
going to
his hamstring.
DH?
I guess, or he's going to play first, and they're going to try and dump Walker.
Okay, yeah. Well, either way, back to the Yankees. They stink. This weekend was awful. Boone, obviously.
Where does Friday's loss rank in terms of
One.
like regular season
One.
loss you've ever watched?
1.
That's the worst regular season game you've ever watched?
It's going to be 1. Without having to look through all of them, obviously we've watched thousands of regular season games in our lives, but it's got to be. I mean, I've never seen one worse. That's as bad as it gets. That was, and you know what the worst part was? Like, you knew it was coming. You just knew it was going.
And there was nothing
coming.
you could do. There was nothing you could do.
And it was a day after the deadline, and you felt good for the first time. I felt good about the Yankees in like 6 weeks. I was really on a high, and all of the guys they got lose that game. Every single guy they got played a role in losing that game. And even in the top of the 9th, I'm feeling so good about the Caballero pickup. And Volpe and McMahon have great moments. And Caballero steals a bag and scores from second. And you have the league's leading base stealer out there. I'm like, this it doesn't get better than this. This is incredible. They just keep fighting back. And then Camilo Duvall walks out and you're like, he's going to lose this game too.
Yeah, it was.
And Paul O'Neill said on the broadcast, he said, if I was Duvall and I just watched those two guys make their debuts, I'm saying to Coach, I'm not coming in tonight.
I was sitting there saying, like, after McMahon and Volpe have those moments, I'm like, this team might be back.
Yeah.
Like, they might be legit here. And then that happens, and I was like, all right, never mind. I was like,
and
nope, they're not. This is not a real team.
From a non-team perspective, like, just the fact that those two guys didn't get to have that moment now is so upsetting. Because Volpe, as you know, Keith McPherson said it best a few weeks ago. He said, we're rooting for Volpe. Like, we don't, the people who criticize him and we get on here and we say stuff about him, we don't want to see him play poorly. Like, he's an easy kid to root for. Yep. So you see him starting to have these moments at the plate, and I was so pumped for him. And you see him start to get a little cocky swagger after he hits that home run, looking at the bench, telling him, quiet down, quiet down. And then it just 5 minutes later, it doesn't even matter for anything because they blew the game. And McMahon's been awesome. So for him not to have that moment stunk too. And then they get swept out of the weekend. I mean, that's the biggest part of that loss is you didn't compete the next 2 days. So you needed that win because now you're sitting in third place. And Boston, thanks for the help, Houston. Boston just rolled through the weekend.
Yeah, they're a game and a half up on you. Yeah.
And in that wild card race now, we spoke about it 2 weeks ago. They're not a lock to make the playoffs by any means. By any means.
No. That's scary too, but they're not. They really aren't. I'm looking at it right now. You have Boston, Seattle, Boston, Yankees, Seattle, and Texas is 2 games behind the Mariners, 2.5 behind the Yankees.
And this becomes the biggest series of the year for them because
you
can be out of a playoff spot by the end of it if you keep losing. Or if they win 2 games against Texas, you feel very confident about their chances to get to the playoffs.
And you're on the road. I saw the Yankees' road record over the past month and a half here, and their road record is terrible.
Yeah.
And they have this team. They have this team on the road in Texas. So that's not something you like either here.
And you get Rodon and Fried this week. Those 2 guys have to step up in these moments. This is a playoff type of moment now for them where you have to step up.
And how much do you trust Rodon in these scenarios?
Not at all, especially after his last start was awful on Friday. He was a big part of why they lost on Friday. Yeah. Because he only gave him 4 innings.
Well, in Met world, that's a lot. So I wouldn't be
Met world. I heard they give him the complete game now at Baseball Reference.
Yeah. So 4 innings, I wouldn't be complaining there.
Fried, Corbin tonight, got to be a win. Warren,
Corbin's been good though. Patrick Corbin's been good.
Warren Eovaldi tomorrow that's a mess of a game. That's probably the easiest.
No, Will Warren's back.
Warren's my guy, but not back. And then Rodon Leiter is a pretty even shake on Wednesday right now.
Has Leiter been good?
He's been solid. He's been steadily solid.
Okay.
So he's sitting with a ERA just over 4 right now. He can get an under 4 on Wednesday with a good start. But no DeGrom this week is huge to dodge DeGrom. But they need to win 2 of these games. They absolutely have to. And it starts tonight. You have to win tonight's game with Max Fried on the mound.
Go take 2 out of 3.
What else with the Yankees today? How about the Chisholm trade from last year? Because we spoke about Ramirez a little bit before the show, but the Chisholm trade this weekend. Not only could Cashman's 2025 deadline look awful this weekend against the Marlins, but somehow the 24 deadline aged horribly this weekend too.
Yeah,
it's
insane.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to overreact over one weekend about the Jazz trade, but
that seems like you are.
I mean, it's definitely not this like layup steal like Yankee fans thought it was last year, because Ramirez is a stud. He leads the rookies in home runs this year. He's one of the better catchers in baseball. And then they gave up Cerna and Abraham Ramirez, excuse me.
And Cerna had a really nice night on Friday, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so you gave him 3 guys that might be quality players for them. Ramirez is definitely going to be their catcher for a period of time here.
How many freaking catchers does this team have, man, to trade? The Yankees, I'm talking about.
Well, you know what? If you look at I've been talking about this for a few years with my friends, and it really might not have any substance. I don't know. But it feels like their first and second round picks in the draft are almost always shortstops with infield flexibility and catchers with first base flexibility, because I think those are the most valuable trade chips at the deadline. And then you get your pitchers later in the draft.
It's absolutely insane. Every year they're trading a catching prospect for a decent return.
And this pitcher, Abraham Ramirez, that they gave up in that deal is pretty solid right now, but he's in single A still. He's only 20. So who knows what this looks like.
But Ramirez is a player. He's a major league hitter already.
He's got 17 home runs. He might, it's fair to say he's probably going to be a better hitter than Jazz over the next 4 years. Jazz is not an elite offensive hitter. He's having a career year this year.
He's close to being. He's an above-average hitter.
Put it this way: would I do the trade? Yeah, but the Yankees traded Narvaez, they traded Ramirez, and they kept Austin Wells, who I think stinks.
He's a problem.
Wells is a total black hole in your lineup.
I just want to see what the numbers are up to right now. I had checked a couple days ago.
What the numbers are down to right now.
It's 687 OPS. His OPS plus is 88, 12 points lower than the average. His on base is 268. I mean, this isn't. I understand the position. I understand you don't get much production from this position offensively, but he is just beyond terrible at this point.
He gives you awful at-bats in almost all of his at-bats, but once every 2 weeks, he connects with the low-end fastball and short porches it. So the numbers go up a little bit, but
kind of feels like a shot.
Gabe just threw out exactly what I was about to say. Ben Rice has made it so that there is now uncertainty if Wells is your starting catcher in October, because Rice is going to keep getting chances to get more comfortable behind the plate, and he's going to, like we saw on Saturday, get into the starting lineup and make a case to push Wells out of it, because Wells is giving you nothing, because he's not an elite defensive catcher. He's good defensively. He gives you better defense than Rice gives you.
Yeah.
But he is not elite by any means behind the plate. And he stinks at the plate.
And you trust Rice behind there?
No, I don't. But I think we can get to a point where by October, we trust him enough to ensure that his bat gets in the lineup a lot. Because look at their whole lineup. Wells is their worst bat. So you need to have Goldschmidt in over Wells. You need to have Rice in over Wells. And you need to have whoever is going to get the DH spot, which would be Stanton or maybe Judge over Wells.
Got ya.
So there's no spot for him. And then on the bench, I'd probably take the bat of some of these guys they just traded for.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, he's just giving you nothing. He's going to be a 20 home run hitter.
This, from what it started from, too. Remember, all these guys got off to hot starts. He got off to a nice hot start. To now be here, and his numbers were, I mean, looked in June and July, are like, all right, he's having a good year for a catcher. Like a legit good year for a catcher.
Yeah.
To now be here is nuts.
That's really bad.
I wrote down last week, on the back of this card here, all the predictions of where guys would go. I got one, besides like no trades, I got one trade right.
What'd you get?
I got Julio. I got Johan Duran to the Phillies.
Did I get any right?
I didn't write you down.
Oh, thanks.
I thought you said you were writing you down. I only had X amount of space on the back of this card.
That's a small card.
Yeah, so
I'm trying to think if I got any right.
I had no trades right. Like I had no trade Mackenzie Gore, no trade Joe Ryan, no trade Dylan Cease, no trade Duran, Jaron.
And Johan Duran was lights last night too.
Yeah, I watched the last 2 innings of that game. They're a serious problem.
He was jacked up to make that debut. It was 103, 103, 103, 103.
Well, he made the debut Friday.
Yeah.
And he was great Friday and then last night too.
The entrance is sick.
Yeah, it's not
Closer
better
entrance is sick.
It's not better. Mets got two. Mets got two better.
Better than Diaz.
Mets
better
got
than
two better.
Helsley.
Now. Hells bells, trumpets, better.
Talk about the Mets pen in a little bit. Mets pen looks awesome.
Yeah, when you can use them.
What else do we have on Yankees here?
Are you worried about the Red Sox? Let's give Jack Lydon some of his, this will be it for the day for him.
This'll sound a little like copy. I'm not worried about the Red Sox. I'm worried about the Yankees.
Okay.
Like, I don't look at the Sox and say, I think they're going to be just this hot team the rest of the year. I look at the Yankees and say, are they ever going to play good baseball again?
Right.
I don't even worry about Toronto like that.
No, it's funny. I wouldn't worry about Toronto either. I don't think Toronto is a legit baseball team, even though they're 17 games over 500.
I think the Yankees, I'm not going to say they're better than either team, but they definitely have a more talented group of players, and that's reflected in a lot of their numbers. I mean, what's their run differential this year? Like 98? Like plus 98
it's
run
92.
differential?
It's 92.
Everyone else in the division is within 20.
Dude, how about Trevor Story?
Trevor Story's been great. You know what aged terribly? Our bad contracts draft has aged horribly.
Who did we have?
DeGrom was in it. DeGrom's a stud again. Trevor Story was in it. Rodon was in it. We stand with Rodon being in it. Stanton, I had in it, but Stanton's raking again this year. He's been the Yankees' best hitter since he came back.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Trout, which we're still going to live with probably.
Probably.
You took Dansby Swanson.
Dansby stinks. What's he doing this year?
Cubs are back.
The Cubs are back, but Dansby's not back. I haven't heard Dansby's name all year.
No, he's giving them good defense. That's it. Which is, pretty
great. I could give him good defense.
Who else was in that? Well,
Strasburg. 700 OPS.
Strasburg was the first pick of the bad contracts draft.
Yep. Then Rendon. Rodon was in there too.
Yeah, Rodon was in there too. I took Rodon and Stanton.
I thought you were deciding between both, but you picked both of them.
Well, I was deciding between both the first time through because I thought you were going to take Rodon if I didn't take it. But I'm fine with the Rodon contract.
Right now, yeah, it's fine.
No, I'm fine with that being on the list, yeah.
But when he blows up in October, you won't be. Well, you will be.
Well, I hate him. I'm saying I'm fine with drafting him onto my team.
Yeah.
For bad contracts.
Oh. No, I'm not. No, I can't have him on that. Not with the year he's had. He's had a good enough year.
I'm still I just can't trust him at all still.
You like that?
But in a 12 worst it's a big stat. Merlot, 100 percentile on defensive run saved. What's your outs above average?
It's probably the opposite because you know how they don't agree with each other, which makes complete sense, right? It's unbelievable how those two line up.
Yeah, no, it's probably bad OAA.
Yeah, but bad OAA, great DRS.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
I have nothing else with the Yankees really, except for the fact that they should poach Kevin Cash at the end of the year. I did text you about that last night.
You did.
Rays fans think Cash is done. He's still under contract. From the Yankees, I'm saying, which you want George Lombard?
Let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You want to do this again with the And I'm not saying that Kevin Cash is this guy that sits there and takes orders, because I don't think he is. I think he would be a big-time voice in that room, possibly more than Boone. But do you really want to go down this route again of the analytics and like the full-blown analytics? You don't think that, and I don't know, but I'm just putting this out there. If the Yankees were to move off of Aaron Boone, you don't think they'd go not fully in the direction of an old school manager, but something closer to what, Carlos Mendoza is, who they let go to the Mets, where Mendoza has a very good feel of using his gut, but also trusting the numbers and trusting what his people are telling him. He has a very good feel for that. You don't think they try and find that guy instead of the full-blown Kevin Cash analytics, who is great and has a great record, but I don't know, just a point.
It's a good point. And I think the answer is, as long as Cashman's staying, which he will, then, and Boone probably will too, for the sake of the conversation. But as long as Cashman's staying, they're just going to have to find another guy like Boone who's willing to buy into Cashman's front office's analytics philosophies. Because Cashman calls the shots on a day-to-day basis in every level of the organization.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be Kevin Cash. It wouldn't be... Now, it would maybe be a guy like Torey Lovello, who, maybe Arizona's really disappointed in the year this year. They're not totally keen on letting him go, but the Yankees come in with an offer and say, we'll send you a prospect or two and take the contract of Torey Lovello.
Yeah.
It would probably be a guy more along those lines. But what I would just want for them is to find a manager who has done more with less, because I don't think Boone's ever elevated. Once again, I say this just beating a dead horse all summer, but I don't think Boone's ever elevated the Yankees. And on the topic of Boone's analytics, I saw a great tweet the other day. I wish I knew who it was by, because I didn't plan on bringing it up, but it was about people saying Boone is so analytically driven. And then it was just a series of examples of how all of his decisions are firmly against good analytics and that they don't make any sense. And the main one is the fact that Goldschmidt hits against right-handed pitching every day and Rice doesn't.
Right.
And they just the two of them have complete opposite splits. But it was funny looking at pitching changes and stuff. But yeah, I think that they need to try to go out and get aggressive for
you're fully done. Like, it's run its course and you're moved on. Like, you would be fine moving on today.
I'm totally done. And that I have had moments of defending Boone and saying, let's hold the complete hate and finger pointing at him. And I thought he did a pretty good job last year getting them to the World Series. I know people like to only focus on the World Series, and I know people like to talk about the competition they played in Cleveland and Kansas City, but neither of those series were particularly close either.
Right.
The Yankees didn't have a scare on the way to getting there. He did a good job getting through two teams that were respectable. They weren't your typical postseason contenders, but they were respectable. And he did a good job last year with that. And in the fall, making sure that they really took care of the division early. You didn't worry about Baltimore in September. I thought that he did overall a good job last year. I once again will say, I think overall he is not the worst manager in baseball, like Yankee fans like to say he is. But he's not the right guy for this team. He's just not.
I love the overreaction from Yankee fans. There's nothing better than that.
I mean, I see all the comments on my TikTok video yesterday, which did well, and it's got a lot of comments, and people are saying he's the worst manager in baseball. He's the worst this, worst that. What? He's not. He really isn't. I think you don't make the playoffs 6 out of 7 years if you're the worst manager in baseball.
Yeah.
But something has to change for the Yankees because he's not the right guy for them. They have too much talent right now to be going through this, and at the age Judge is at, he's 33, it's time to really make sure you're not complacent in what you're doing every year.
Was a nice vid. That vid did well.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I agree. Yeah, back for Fire Island.
Back.
Feeling good.
Back. One more thing on their deadline, and then we're just going to move right to Mets. I think that Cashman, I'm not going to rip his deadline because I did like it. I thought he did a good job. I think he bargain bin shopped a little bit, though. I think he did, besides McMahon, go after guys that teams didn't really want and had concerns about. but also it's pretty obvious that he's setting himself up for 2026. I think that is so incredibly clear. When Garrett Cole is back, they're getting guys with control. The only player they might lose that you'd want to keep is Cody Bellinger. He's their only real free agent, and that's assuming he opts out, which he will. And then you have the other free agents are like Luke Weaver and Devin Williams. So he's setting himself up for 26 pretty nicely. But again, we'll see if they actually make the real changes this offseason, whether that's Boone or whether that's getting different players in that can impact the team to make sure 26 isn't a wasted year again.
No, they look great in 26. I talked about that last week. It was a very good job by Cashman. Now, that take did not age well. I put the video out Friday. Did not age well into Friday night, but it was a good job by Cashman to try and get some controllable pieces and make your job in the offseason a little less difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move on to the Mets here. Lose 2 out of 3 to San Fran. This is not a good feel-good series. We've been starting to hint at the possibility of their pitching is not nearly enough for the last 2-3 weeks, especially the innings they're giving you. But we hyper-fixated it on Clay Holmes 2 weeks ago. Now the floodgates are open. Their starting pitching is not good enough. And we'll discuss everything about that, including whether David Stearns did enough at the deadline.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you have – so what we saw from this deadline was very simple. The price for starting pitching and the amount of starting pitchers, there wasn't many, and the price was very high. So teams said, you know what, if I need a starting pitcher, I am just going to spend and go and make and create this super pen, right? We're going to just get as many relievers as we possibly can, and we hope that does the trick. Now, that can be very difficult when you don't have starters that go deep into games, and you have a game like yesterday where, your starter gave you 4 innings, and now you got to use a bullpen piece for 4 innings in Austin Warren. If Warren sucked yesterday, they had to use some top guys just to get through that game, which would have sucked. So, I don't know. I think he needed to add a starting pitcher. I just don't know who it would have been. I really don't. It would have been Kelly. It would have been Morton. I don't know who I would have added.
I'm really curious about the trade talks for Zach Gallen league-wide.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason for Arizona to keep this guy. Was there just no interest? Was their asking price way too high? Do they have a different opinion on Gallen because he's been there and he's one of their guys? I have no idea what to think. Because he should have been a guy that at 5:45, Arizona called back the highest offer, even if it was an awful one, and said, you could have Gallen for, your 45th prospect in your farm. We just got to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was a little shocking that he didn't go. At one point, we were sitting there at the deadline, and these starters haven't gone yet, and it's 5:30. I'm like, no, none of the starters have gone. And then 5 o'clock, I should say, and then Kelly went. And then you had Morton go. But I was a little shocked, 100%.
I think something you texted me last night was fascinating and cool because I don't know if I've ever actually felt this way or viewed something this way, but trying to figure out who the Mets are going to bring in close games now is fun. It's you have 3 guys that are awesome and 2 of them who are new, which is always fun. And we said it on Thursday, 3 guys who give you totally different perspectives. So you're getting something equally as enjoyable, but totally different from all 3 of Rogers, Helsley, and Diaz. And now you're just sit back and relax with a lead late in the game. I mean, this bullpen is awesome now.
I was sitting there on Saturday hoping they broke the game open so they didn't have to use Rogers another inning and they didn't have to use Helsley or Diaz because I was going to the game Sunday and I wanted to possibly see these guys in person. Now, obviously, they got blown out. There was no need. But as a nerd baseball fan, I was kind of sitting there hoping that they blew them out, not to blow them out so that I could see the new relievers the next day.
Did you get a mini bat?
I did not get a mini bat. Bad traffic yesterday, man. Awful traffic around the stadium. And the tennis hasn't even started. When does that start?
Because then it's 20th.
Right, because then it's just hell over there.
Yeah, it gets real. I went to a Yankee Mets game a few years ago. Remember that great 9/11 game?
Yep.
The 20th anniversary game,
Yeah.
Stanton, Lindor. It was one of the best Subway, if not the best Subway Series game
Yeah.
ever played. But I went to the night before, and it was the tennis semifinal, and the men's semifinal. And so the place was packed, and it was Yankees Mets 7:00. The semifinal started at 7:00 also, and
Yeah, that's good.
I think I got in the 4th inning. Jordan Montgomery was pitching, and the Yankees were down 8-1 when I got into the building.
That was the Friday night? Yeah.
That was the Friday night. It was the only bad game of the series.
Yeah. That was the night where Gary Sanchez didn't put the tag down.
Yep. That was the
Yeah.
night. Yeah. It was an awful game to be at.
Yeah.
I think I got there in the 4th and left in the 7th. But anyways, Mets' biggest glaring concern from this weekend, Frankie Montas stinks.
He's awful. I mean,
He's really bad.
He should not make another start for this team again. Listen, I have had people rip. I've seen people rip Stearns. I've had friends rip on David Stearns for this move. And I would just say I trust David Stearns and I trust his eyes and what he wants to do. He's one of the best executives in baseball. If he thinks he's worth it, he's worth it. I can no longer defend it. When you had, and I've seen this a lot on Twitter now too, you had Jose Quintana sitting out there for months for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
For nothing. You could have cut him whenever you wanted if he was terrible. Instead, you signed Frankie Montas. That enrages me, especially with how clutch Quintana was for them last year. That really makes me mad.
Was the Montas Milwaukee year a Stearns year also?
No.
It wasn't, right? It was the year after?
Yeah.
So I've never understood this move with Montas. I just hate it in the offseason, and obviously there's a Yankees connection there.
Obviously. I mean, the guy stunk for you. It's not like you're...
And then there's that meme of the record player, and it's...
Yes.
Broken, but could be fun to fix.
That's David Stearns.
That's the David Stearns pitching thing. But with Montas, I never really bought it. He's awful. He's so bad. And I don't think it's, he's only made 5 starts. It's like his spring training. He's getting revved up again.
No.
He's just not good.
No, he's not
a good
good. And a lot of these guys aren't good, Kevin. Clay's not good. I have issues with Senga. I mean, you want to talk about somebody that's been overrated? Senga, to me right now, at this very moment, at his very best, is a low-end number 2 starter. And right now he's a 3 because he's not even close to his best. He throws way too many pitches. He has way too many 3-ball counts. He walks the world. There are times where this guy is as nasty as one could be. He doesn't have an out pitch. I don't understand it. He has just been so frustrating to watch since coming back from this hamstring injury, because prior to that, he was great. Now he stinks. I don't get it. He's been so frustrating, just like the rest of this staff, besides Manaea and Peterson.
Yeah, I'm out on Senga right now, and I'm at a point where, like, I'm gonna agree with you here. I think he's a 3 or 4, but I didn't say 4.
I did say 4.
I think he's a 4. 3 or 4.
Think he's 4.
On a championship team. Yeah,
I don't think he's 4.
How do they structure this rotation for the playoffs? And I don't think there's a right answer, and I don't think there's a good answer. SPROAT has to come up.
Yeah.
He has to, because that could be your only answer, is one of the young guys, SPROAT or McLean. That's probably your only solution, potential solution this year to finding that extra starter that I don't think they have. Because let's be honest, as much as we're going to sit here and say Senga's overrated, you're okay with him in the 2nd or 3rd game of a 7-game series. You're not going to totally freak out about that.
He better get to a point where we feel good about it. We better get to a point where he's pitching game 2, for crying out loud. I mean, I don't think I don't think he is completely washed and done here. It's just right now he's not pitching like a 2 or a 1.
And you need Manaea to be one of those guys.
And Manaea has looked good. He's just not built up yet. But he looks like that guy. The swing and miss is there, man. The deception is there. He does look like that guy from last season. He's just got to get built up a little bit more.
And then you have the rest of the crew, which, if you have Manaea, Peterson, Senga, okay. You need Peterson and Senga and Manaea, but I'm not going to include them in this, but you need those two to give you more innings right now. You need them to give you more innings by the time the playoffs come around. But who is that extra guy that they're going to go to? Because I don't see that fourth starter, and that's why I think Stearns really needed to get one.
Well, hopefully it's Sprout. Because I say it wrong all the time. My friends get on me. Sproat. Because you're right. That other guy isn't coming. That other guy isn't stepping up. It's not going to be Montas. It's not going to be Holmes. So it has to be one of these kids. Let's see what they could give you. Sproat has been unbelievable in his past, I think, 6 or 7 outings, an ERA less than 1. He's ready to go after struggling in AAA early. He is ready to go now. Let's see what you have. Also, these guys, one of the reasons why I think Clay Holmes is struggling big time is because he's not getting that extra day right now. It's a 5-man rotation. Give him that extra day. Let's see what happens when you give him that extra day.
Stroman's available.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm good. Okay.
Because he could have been your extra guy.
I'm good.
Hitting wise, and then we can circle back to pitching, but hitting wise, starting to feel better about the Mets last few weeks. Soto's hitting a little dip right now. But
Soto's on the dip.
Lindor starting to look better. Alonso starting to look better. And they really had nasty slumps. It's a miracle that the Mets are where they are in the standings, I think, because
they went on a 7-game winning. They went on a 7-game winning streak without these guys hitting.
Yep. You'd think that those stats would coincide with a really bad stretch for those two guys, because Lindor and Alonso's big statistics dropped by almost 100 points. Their big averages.
No, it did. It did. Lindor's OPS is like 750.
And we were talking about him the first 2 months. We were talking about him as an MVP guy.
I know. He was 7. It was 739 on Friday night at one point. Awful.
And I gotta say, it's a total 180 into a different direction. But Kyle Stowers, since you made your Soto declaration, this guy is insane.
The guy is the best player in baseball.
He's the best player in the league.
Since I called him out a month ago. Unbelievable. Unreal.
He heard you say that. He's got a 948 OPS.
What is it over his last 30 games?
Let's see. Last 30 games. Pull it up right now.
Kyle
30 games.
Stowers.
Why are you not showing me this? Well, last 30 games, I have everything except for his OPS right now. 13 homers, 33 RBIs, a 350 batting average, 427 on base, and an 810 slug. Last 15 games, his slug is 946.
He's got a 1,200 OPS over his last 30 games.
I'm going to add it for the exact number here. 810 slug and a 427 on base. The 1237.
You couldn't get the 1237 there?
Could not get the 1237 there. Wow, that's easy math, too.
That's really easy math.
Could not get there without the calc. But, dude, you woke him up big time.
Good for Kyle. I hope he reaches out at some point and thanks me for it. My friend had said that he has the tweet hanging up in the locker room, so if he does, take a picture, send it to me. But yeah, it's hysterical, absolutely hysterical.
And now here come the Marlins.
They're dangerous, dude. They're dangerous.
55. This NL East is no joke.
No, they're in it. They're fully in it. I'm scared of them. I'm not actually scared of them. How about this? Hold on one second. This. The Mets end the year on a 7-game road trip. Okay.
Oh no.
6-game road trip. Sorry. 3 in Chicago, 3 in Miami. That sounds like hell. That sounds like hell to me.
Because you would love to imagine Chicago is already locked in, but they're going to be playing for a division.
Yeah, or the first wild card with the Mets.
Yeah, wow.
Potentially, or Phillies, whoever. Like the Mets will probably still be battling it out for the division, needing those games that week. And Miami is gonna. How many times has Miami played spoiler in the Mets franchise's history? A lot.
Wow, yeah.
That is an awful awful last 6 games there.
And Miami's probably going to be in one of those spots where I don't think they're eliminated by the last 3 or last 6 games of the year, but they're going to need to win out. They're going to need another team to lose out type of thing.
There's
it's very
7
unlikely.
You know, there's 7 games back of the Mets.
Yeah,
there's 7 games
Do
back.
they play in the next month at all? Or is that their last series of the year?
Let's see. They play 4 at Citi Field. And then so 7 games left.
Bro, Mets' schedule's hell.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, 3 against Cleveland, but then 3 at Milwaukee. Then you got to play the Braves. That's never easy. Seattle's not going to be easy for 3.
Yeah.
Washington should be easy. Then at Atlanta for 3. Then Phillies, Marlins, Tigers, Reds, Phillies, Rangers, Padres, Nationals again, Cubs, Marlins. There's 2 bad teams in that for the rest of the year.
I guess that is kind of brutal.
That's
honestly.
an awful schedule.
I got to make the trip to Philly, right, for those September games during
You have
the week.
to. They need you there.
They might need me there.
They need you there. They needed you there yesterday, and you were there for them.
Yeah, and they sucked yesterday. I might have to go to Philly for those games.
It's a 4-game set, end of September. That is a awful. What is Philly's schedule's got to look similar, but what is theirs? Oh, Philly's schedule's a joke.
Oh, great.
Orioles, Rangers, Reds, Nationals. Then it's pretty much the same. Mariners, Nationals, Brewers, Braves, Marlins. Royals. They play the Royals, Diamondbacks in September. Oh, Philly's last 12 games, 9 of them are Diamondbacks, Royals, and Twins. And
that's pretty easy.
The rest of them are the Marlins. And they play the Dodgers in September. But gosh.
Marlins got a chance here. 7 against the Mets, 7 against the Phils. They got
Marlins got a shot.
They have a chance. They're playing for something.
Yeah. The Fish are back.
No, the Phillies scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, they should.
The Phillies scare the hell out of me. They're good.
And now with Duran.
Yeah, the second best entrance in the league. I know it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
And how about the Giants? Like, they just fell off a freaking cliff. I know we talked about that.
Yeah, we've spoken about that a lot, but yeah, this is bad.
It's kind of embarrassing.
It is. They're in a bad place. Devers went deep yesterday. I don't know if you saw that. But
yeah, that ball was hit real far, real hard.
But the wild card race in the NL, like, Reds are here. Reds are absolutely here.
Dude, we know who the 6 teams are going to be, and that's it.
Out of those 3, though, if one was to knock off San Diego, who would it be? Cincinnati, San Fran, Miami. It would probably have to be San Fran if one was to do it.
I don't think it would be San Diego.
But if this is an if hypothetical. If San Diego missed the playoffs, I think San Fran would have to be the team that jumps them because they probably play them the most.
I feel like if it would be anybody, it would be the Reds. I think the Cubs would fall out. The Cubs would fall out. I don't think San Diego's missing out, and I don't think the Mets are missing out.
Reds, awesome.
Who do you think the most likely team to miss out would be? You're going to say the Mets.
Yeah, after looking at that schedule, I'm going to say the Mets. But I don't think I'm in agreement with you that I think these 6 stay the same.
Yeah, it's going to be these 6.
I'd say if it's probably most likely, though.
I don't know if it's like exactly like this in terms of the record and division winners, but it's those 6.
And the Rockies, too, chasing history. Still 30-81.
Awful. Just
but
awful.
5-5 in their last 10. That's huge.
Good for them. They're figuring it out.
And they got rid of Jake Bird, so it's looking brighter.
The Braves are 16 games under 500.
Yeah. Braves are really bad.
The 3rd worst record in the National League.
And it's a disgrace that the Nationals have the 2nd worst.
Yep, bad. We were off on the Nationals.
We were off on the Nationals. I had them over 71.5 wins.
Yeah, I have that actually, like, legit in a sports book.
Yeah, that's bad to have.
Yeah. No, you don't want that. Wish I could sell that.
Yeah, all right. Well, Good wild card races all around.
Soto's got to figure it out. I mean, I got all these people now. You know how many Met fans hate Soto? You know the older generation of Met fan cannot stand Juan Soto.
Is that
They
so?
really can't. The amount of people, older people that I talk to, okay, and they tell me, "Oh, Soto sucks. He sucks. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Can't stand him." Like, he's one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen in my lifetime. Okay, listen, is he having the year that he wants? No, he's not. But he's gonna get there. He has not been good with runners in scoring position. He's been terrible with runners in scoring position all year. But still, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out.
He will. But yeah, the old heads kind of hate the baseball players who aren't like the 5-tool gritty guy.
Yep. And the ones that are paid $700 million, I hate that too.
Yeah. And yeah, that amount of money is ridiculous to give anybody. But like they grew up in a time where guy getting $8 million over like 6 years was nuts.
Edwin Diaz has been named National League Reliever of the Month for July. He did not allow a run over 11 innings, striking out 18.
My guy. You know,
Diaz,
Bednar should have gotten it probably.
No.
In July, yeah. He didn't give up a run until August.
Diaz previously won the honor in May. He has 10 Reliever of the Month nods overall, an MLB record since the award was established in 2005. So I pose this question to you. How many does Mo have?
How many of the month does Mo have?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not that many.
Yeah, because Diaz is better. Thank you.
No, it's not better.
My case rests.
Because
how many
Mo,
people that would actually piss off if I was actually.
Mo was one of those guys, though, that, you know, let's look at his career stats. Like, he wasn't the overpowering stud statistically.
Like Diaz.
But ERA, I mean, yeah, he's way better than this. Is not even. His career is the most. I think Mariano Rivera might have one of the 3 or 4 most ridiculous statistical careers of all time.
I don't really
From
look at
1996 to 2013, that's the rest of his career. His highest ERA was a 3.1, and he never had another season higher than a 3 in that stretch.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, look at this. This career is nuts. Never had a 60 save season.
He won 5 reliever of the years, by the way.
Yeah. So you
Diaz
can take your
10 of the month.
You can take your reliever of the month and shove it.
It was also funny that it started in 2005, the award. So
yeah, I think Mariano probably would have had a couple more.
Yeah, a few more.
I think 652 saves is one of the few unbreakable records in sports too.
You think?
Yeah, just how many guys are closing at that level for 20 years now?
Yeah.
For a
You're
team, right. Not only like, he kind of had a perfect situation for a guy of that caliber because first you have to be that great, and that's rare. But his team was always, almost every night, they were in a position to win.
Yeah.
And for his entire 20-year career, they didn't have a bad year. And he was the closer for the whole time. Like from 1996 to 2013, he is the closer. They didn't.
No, it is. You're right. I understand where you're coming from. ERA plus is the highest ever for a reliever.
Yeah.
205.
Who's second? I wonder. Because Trevor Hoffman second in saves at 601, and third is Lee Smith with 478. And then, so think about the elite closers of our lifetime: Kenley Jansen and Craig Kimbrell. They're 4th and 5th all time.
Yeah.
But they're 200 plus behind Rivera. I mean, that's 4 or 5 more elite seasons on a contending team.
How did Kyle Stowers not win player? Oh.
Who else could have?
He won it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at Rookie of the Month.
Now that you just
Nick Kurtz won both of them.
Now that you just knocked him, he's He's going to dominate now.
Yeah. No, Nick Kurtz and Kyle Stowers were the player of the month in July. Those are crazy years.
Yeah. All right. Anything else today?
I think I'm okay for now. You know, the Mets will be better. I'm sure of it. It's frustrating.
Yeah, Yankees schedule. This 3 games is the biggest on it, so they got to win a couple.
You're locked in.
We'll jump back Thursday or Friday morning.
Yeah,
and do another show. Thursday day off for the Yankees. Are the Mets off on Thursday?
Yeah, the Mets are off on Thursday too. They go to Milwaukee for a big series.
So Thursday will be a nice reset day for us. So we'll jump back Thursday morning. Check out everything BTO Media. You know, No Good Takes, Giuseppe Alveri. Appreciate the guys holding it down last week. I'm back all week this week doing the bunker, doing the boroughs. And check out Gabe at The Playbook, PlayBK on Instagram and TikTok for your short-form content, New York sports. You can check out Mic'd Up. Big one last week. Hardline's back. Yep. All sports again. It's back. Hardline Sports Talk. And we're a week or two away from full football season. Of course, we keep our baseball stuff rolling, but we're a week or two away from full football season, which we're absolutely pumped about.
Start, like, seriously getting prepared for, like, Giants propaganda.
Yeah, and the Jets propaganda is already in the air. We can feel it. It's buzzing. They might.
I'm hearing bad practices day in and day out.
I'm hearing they have a coach who is making sure they understand they have bad practices and that there are no moral victories.
I'm starting to hear
success in the regular season
that Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback, but he's not going to be.
I am hearing the same thing, but we're not going to talk about it on this show.
Okay.
Because it's a baseball show, and that's not where we talk about the Jets. Very inappropriate.
But we can talk about Abdul Carter wherever we want because that guy is the man.
No, going up against John Michael Schmitz every day. That's and Evan Neal. Whoa.
I can get by. Neil looks good apparently. Neil looks good at guard apparently.
If you went up, lined up over center at Giants practice, they'd be like, "Who's this undrafted? This guy looks great."
Come on,
the undrafted from Massapequa.
No, I can't play offensive line, only defensive line.
The undrafted from Massapequa just had John Michael Schmitz on his ass 5 plays in a row.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. I could probably do that.
You probably would. All right, wrap it. Good app. Appreciate you guys watching, listening. Check it out always on Apple and Spotify afterwards, and we'll have stuff throughout the entire week for you. So check out all the content, and we appreciate you following. Big series for the Yankees, big series